Meditation, although receiving an abundance of attention now thanks to people like Tim Ferriss, is still as undefinable, mystifying, and intangible as catching air with your bare hands. I even cringe at that analogy because I know it doesn't do it justice. So rather than fill your 10 minutes here watching this video with esoteric platitudes and the odd scientific journal reference, what I'll do is simply blurt out the weirdness that is meditation with the most clarity I can muster on such a topic after 30 days of practicing it. I bumped into Marcus Hamill on the headland in Avalon whilst checking the surf one morning. We got talking and broed down about waves, film, storytelling, and then, finally, meditation. Meditation was something I'd been constantly hearing about, but not to the point where I felt inspired to learn or practice. The momentum had been creeping up on me, I'll admit, because it seemed that a large majority of successful people whom I admired practiced some form of meditation daily. Topically, it didn't sound like much benefit could be garnered from such an activity, and after all, I told Marcus, I don't really have much stress or anxiety in my life, so I don't think I need it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like saying I don't have digestive issues, so I'll just eat pizza every day.
Well played, sir.
And coming at you live, this just-in surfer kid has no witty comeback.
Over the next few months, meditation played on my mind, and after a brief period of extreme inactivity and some seriously good procrastination, I decided to call Marcus and book in for 4 consecutive days of Vedic meditation training. Improve my productivity, please. I require help, I told Marcus. He promptly organised some sessions in his studio and I was officially locked in. Committed. No last-minute bail texts. Oh shit, what had I done? I had no idea what classes in meditation would entail. Would it be super weird? Like humble warrior on steroids kind of weird? Like church for someone who's never been kind of weird? Would Marcus sit over me with a broomstick, Miyagi style?
Focus, young Padawan. Stop getting distracted. For good measure.
Ah man, this just looks wrong. Thankfully enough, classes were as regular as you could expect and involved no Miyagi-style punishments. The first session I came along and I was given a mantra, my own special mantra, which would be my guiding sound, if you will, throughout my meditation. I can't tell you what my mantra is though, because then I'd have to kill you. We sat down and I interrogated Marcus, good cop, bad cop styles. I put to him that mindfulness, flow, and meditation were the same thing. Surely he could let go of this facade now and admit guilt. I mean, I surf, and when I'm in the tube, I'm fully meditating, bruh. And what about yoga? I mean, I've been super yoga stoned before. I get it. I'm basically an A student before we've even started. I may as well walk out the door now. I was wrong. Marcus taught me over the next 4 evenings the fundamentals of the practice. We would sit in a comfortable position and meditate for 20 minutes and then discuss our experience. I told Marcus it helped if I focused on my breath. He said, don't try so hard, just let go and let the mantra do its thing. I told Marcus I felt like my hands were floating away on big paddles and I didn't know if I was sleeping or meditating, and he called that sleepitating. The main thing was, it was all okay. The practice is meant to be effortless, and for someone who typically tried all the time at school and sport and work and all the rest of it, it's a little difficult to grasp. Marcus said that it'll be different for everyone, and if you're always trying to have a quote-unquote good meditation, then you're not practicing correctly. It's like yoga. There's no good or bad, it just is. Now, if I had to compare meditation with flow, I would say that meditation is an extreme state of presence within the body. Flow and mindfulness is an extreme state of presence outside the body. It would be easy to belabor this point, but that's probably for someone like Jordan Peterson to do, not me. After the 4 days were up, I thanked Marcus and he sent me on my way into the big wide world. He said, meditation's meant to be challenged. You can't sit all day and meditate and expect to benefit. The benefit is in the challenge of it. And I liked that. It seemed like a going to the gym analogy. You don't really go to the gym to go to the gym. You go to the gym to become a better person outside the gym, if you know what I mean. I committed to meditating once per day for 30 days. Here's what I noticed. I had always found it hard to implement new routines into my life simply because I don't have a routine. I'm routineless, if you will. Surfing rules my life, and I should really go to surfing addiction meetings, but they don't exist yet. My routine changes all the time depending on the tides, the surf, then the volume of emails and editing and the orders I receive. I don't really have a routine because I hated having a 9-to-5 job for those 2 dreadful years that I actually had a 9-to-5 job. Anyway, one of the biggest things that I noticed was that I was much more deliberate in my activities on the day that I did meditate, regardless of not having a routine. It was easier to stay present and mindful and to relax, and the normal frustrations such as traffic and technology issues didn't bother me as much as they did before. I also noticed a big increase in my productivity at work. I would smash out edits or scripts within minutes instead of hours, and for me that was the biggest benefit. I didn't feel rushed or overwhelmed by projects anymore. Everything became quite doable. Overall, there is a deep essence of calm that I carry around with me now. It's like the world moves in slow motion for you, however, you're able to ramp up the speed to 2.5 times if you want to as well. I'll be honest, every time I go to sit down and meditate, there's still that nagging, deep-seated feeling that if I sit down for 20 minutes, I'm missing out on what's going on in the world. But it's weird because I don't really care what's going on in the world, to be honest. Yes, self-improvement needed. I've definitely found that the more work I have to do, the more I crave a meditation session. The more relaxed I feel, the less inclined I am to sit down and miss out on the sunshine and the surf and just reading a book or just relaxing in general. I know people get up earlier to squeeze in their meditation time, but for me, I like waking up naturally. And if the surf's good or I've got something to do, normally I make the meditation wait. This morning, I sat down on the couch, cross-legged with a blanket over me, and I dropped into a nice little medi. Oh, you see that? I'm so legit now that I can actually shorten meditation into the new age vernacular. Just medi, just a quick little medi. Forget it. Anyway, my girlfriend decides to get out of bed around halfway through. She has to wind up the blinds now. Oh, and the dishwasher should be emptied too. Is this pot still dirty? Yeah, let's tap it a few times with a fork. Oh, and latte, anyone? But all these sounds and noises are blurred and buffered by a seemingly impenetrable zone just in the forefront of my mind. I'm sitting peacefully, comfortably, and joyfully further back in an empty room filled with my mantra. Oh, but I can't tell you what that is, because then I'd have to kill you.